Hey guys, welcome back to Trekyards. I'm Admiral Foley.
I was made that joke too, and I'm Guana Cockings, but I won't.
You can be Admiral Cockings as well. Yeah, we are here today to talk about some Admiral uniforms. We saw a new Admiral's uniform in Episode 2, Maps and Legends of Picard, and we're here to talk about it and compare it with other Admiral's uniforms, because we've done this quite a bit. Comparisons.
We do it so you don't have to. As you guys know, we put the graphics in, we do the screen caps, and also this thing was seen in the trailers, so we got a sense, but there's a big difference between basic trailer and full final, and we got some great close-ups. And yeah, I mean, here we go. Here is her in two forms. It's to see the whole feeling of it. I'll start first because you normally start. I like it overall. It's definitely the most different we've seen of something like this. It does have a certain authority, although it's kind of going back to a more Wrath of Khan style single color approach rather than, but it might feel more authoritarian by being more bland in color, which might be part of the point. But overall, I like it. Your thoughts, Stuart?
It seems like civilian clothing from TNG. Take away the rank pips and the comm badge, and it just looks like somebody on the street in TNG.
Yeah, no.
There's no authority line for the collar and stuff. It just feels very casual. So I'm not the hugest fan of it, honestly.
Well, I mean, you mentioned collar. I mean, look how wrinkly that collar is. I mean,
yeah, it's like a loose fitting shirt underneath with another piece on top.
I mean, she should have had like a really thick, strong collar with, like I said, a gold rim, with a nice crisp. Yeah, I mean, the standing looks better, but yeah, it almost feels like it wasn't fitted for her at all. Maybe they had to recast it last minute or something. But yeah, it doesn't have that same. Yeah, you're right. It doesn't have the same authority, which is why I appreciate how good the normal uniforms look. I've said that since the first time. They look crisp. This does not look crisp, and we are going to do some serious comparison on different Admirals uniforms because they have a massive variety, and we'll see how the Admirals uniform, out of all the things, does tend to buck the trend and do its own thing. So I think in that context, this follows the same line of, we'll just do something weird. It's an Admirals, you know what I mean? So it fits into that regard, but it's definitely not an evolution, a revolution of the standard uniform. It's like a uniform generation different. But next picture though, Stuart, which is a picture we took, here is the other Admiral's uniform from the mid-era between Nemesis and Picard. What do you think now seeing those two in comparison? The two canon uniforms for the Admiral.
I definitely like the Picard Admiral uniform, which is the one Picard wore, the one we saw. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yes, the older one. The one on the left.
When he was an Admiral, that's what he was wearing. I like that a lot better for sure. I still hate the cuffs, like the collar or the sleeves on them. But other than that, I really appreciate the design. It's very cool. It looks authoritative. It looks like something that would fall in line with other Admirals uniforms we've seen in the past.
Yeah, and like all other Admiral uniforms, it blends in with its own era of uniform. Because, they're meant to feel different, but not be like, oh my god, it's an Admiral from 2 miles away, look! The one on the left feels like they put thought into it. The one on the right was a very much, we're going to do our own thing. Which is more the Discovery aesthetic of just... And that could be a Discovery version, honestly. That could just be a Discovery uniform. I wouldn't even think anything of that.
I love how there's 5 pips now for an Admiral as well. Not like the 4 that are in like the bar.
Well, she's also the top of Starfleet.
She's CNC, yeah. She's the Commander-in-Chief.
So I wouldn't be surprised if like the top 10 ranked officers in Starfleet have a separate bonus pip to differentiate them. Because she's just an Admiral, but she's an Admiral and so I would say that for that, but I didn't notice that.
Maybe that's not necessarily an Admiral's uniform. Maybe that's a CNC uniform, which is more... Yeah. We don't really know yet.
More Earth-bound, because you can imagine if we're saying it's more generic Earth, well, if she's the controller of Starfleet on Earth, then yeah, maybe she's... I mean, you don't get the impression that this woman would go out in space and do missions. She's a pencil pusher. She's not a bad thing, but she's a desk person.
I think she's public relations with Starfleet. Maybe that's why she looks like more casual, to be able to... I don't know. Just trying to give a reason, a rationale for what she's wearing.
Well, especially as she talks to the Commodore, who has a normal uniform. So and so yeah, I think we might have just solved it there. I don't know if they put that thought in, but I mean that certainly helps me there. But because also you can see that the Admiral for Picard has 2 4s, and she's only got 1 5. But let's look at some of the weird Admiral stuff, because the next picture is 2 of the earliest Admirals. A Measure of a Man chap who has one of the most unique ones, and the Admiral right at the end of season 1 of TNG. And as soon as we saw these, we were like, oh yeah, the Picard Admiral uniform. There is definite links here that we forgot. But these are some of the earliest Admirals. Do we see any connection? Do we see any link? Do we see any vibe similarity with this brand new one? What do you think?
I don't see much of a link, to be honest, with any of these to the one we just saw. They both look kind of goofy in their own way. We've talked about Admiral's uniforms before. They're always different every time we see an Admiral, pretty much. So,
but they do at least fit with the era uniforms, and the gold piping clearly was important, which has been dropped here.
Mm-hmm. You can also see the carryover to Picard's when Picard Admiral one, because of the sleeves on the one guy. You can see the tie-ins that they tried to do with that. So, and
also the distinct, very bulky double pips. I mean, that they probably looked at that one for some reason as a reference, because it's surprisingly similar. Next picture, though, as this was easier to find, these are 2 variants in DS9 and later TNG. So these are more, especially the second one is the more standard one. Again, do we see any connective tissue?
Nope, we don't. I like both of those other ones, to be honest. They both have something kind of unique about them, but no, there's no tie-in, no connection with her uniform at all. And it could be because she's CNC. There could be that's the reason. Perhaps we don't know. So
yeah. But the next one is the more literal canon to canon to canon Insurrection, which is obviously just an evolution of TNG, which did a good job with the belt. Then this one. So this is the actual canon evolution. So now put this in perspective, do we see anything here?
Well, the most obvious thing, of course, is the color palette, the grays and the dark grays or the blacks. So this falls more in line with what we've seen. Again, he's got the double pips, though, just like Picard does. But again, she's special, so who knows. But basically, Dowdry's, whatever his name is, Admiral Dougherty. Yeah. His uniform is essentially just a Nemesis uniform with added stuff on the sleeves, the belt, and then the different pips.
Well, yeah, if you go back a step, it's just the TNG one Nemesisified, which I thought was actually... And I think it looks better here as well. It looks crisper, I think.
Yes. It's a much nicer Admiral's uniform.
And in fact, I like the again, we're putting things in their minds. We tend to think this more than they would. So when I see the middle uniform, I see, and I said at the time, that after Dominion War they wanted to be more going back to a golden age of exploration of peace, of positivity. So they went back to the primary colour palette of actually having the colour first and foremost. So now this new Admiral's uniform is that symbolically saying, we're going back to the dark era of Dominion War, and it certainly has a much similar style in terms of less colour and keeping the colour to the exclusive neck bit, which was much closer to that. So it's kind of showing this back to a darker time, potentially.
Yeah, I think subconsciously, that's kind of what I thought before we even started talking about this. Subconsciously, they're trying to go with, oh, look, Starfleet's, corrupt and not this,
Or at least she is. I don't like this Admiral.
The Federation's kind of gone dystopian-ish. I mean, and subconsciously, you see something drab and gray. It's like, you kind of get that not positive vibe. So I think that may be what they were going for with that. Who knows? But
what would have helped, I think, this one is that if the shoulders on the Admiral's uniform was the same fabric as Nemesis, or like a slightly, like just up to that bit, and just have that be that, I think would look really nice, because it is definitely the plainest of those uniforms by a mile. But yeah, that is the end of my picture, Stuart. But I think I did a good job comparing them all.
Oh yes.
A bit and bob. We'll go back to the first picture that shows her arms, which she has very long inner sleeves. I don't know if it's necessarily fitted for her fully either. I think her undershirt probably wasn't made for her because it's quite long. Like the other uniform, they have a distinct like band, whereas hers is just big ass sleeves. It's like, well, doesn't quite feel the crisp that it should probably feel. And boy, shouldn't this have been Shelby or something? Like she kind of has a Shelby look.
She does, yeah.
Shouldn't have been an Admiral we knew. would have kind of added something, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would have been very neat.
Don't know if that actress acts. I mean, she was fine as an actress, I think, but Shelby would have been a fun, like, kind of makes sense, especially the anti-Borg, the anti-negative, the anti-whatever, you know. You can see it being a thing. Hey, at least it wasn't Janeway, because I wouldn't have bought this from Janeway. You know, the consummate explorer being that not racist, but and we talked about my disagreement with their entire argument. I probably did a video on that because I have points about it. But there's the uniform. And we have more uniform reviews coming up, guys, in the days and weeks to come. And, well, not weeks, unless there's more uniforms. But there might be, hey. And more about the ships in this new episode. So please do check in our daily videos on this channel. All different topics, all different things. And our lives, which at the moment are Fridays, Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays. And then Stuart's bonus live on Thursday. Yeah. So do tune in at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 10 p.m. GMT. We have fun, you have fun, and we love talking to you guys. And Stuart, any final closing wonderful words as the captain you are, apart from that you wouldn't choose to be promoted if these were the Admiral uniforms you had to wear?
Yeah, that's it. That's why I wouldn't accept the promotion, because the wardrobe is crap. Now, my closing words are basically this. This might not be a good representation of the Admiral's uniform because she is a CNC. We don't know that yet, but we thought we'd at least talk about it. But other than that, guys, make sure that you hit the like button, subscribe, and click the notification icon as well, because you want to get notified when we do these videos. Because, like he said, if we see more uniforms, anything like that, we're gonna do breakdown videos on all that stuff, because it's all new Star Trek stuff. Let's compare it to the old stuff and just get it out there so we can see the progression. So you don't want to miss any of that. So make sure you're subscribed and hit the notification icon. So
until next time, guys. He is Admiral Foley.
And he is Admiral Cockings. I'm very proud to say that you finally got your promotions.
It's going to be good.
That's right. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.